The misconceptions that people have, I think, is that their life goes back to normal after the funeral. But for us, there's just so many changes that occur for us that they don't understand that we're lonely, that we have to eat meals by ourselves, or that one thing that I've noticed being a younger widow, they just assume that we are getting Social Security to help our income. But we now are down to one income where we had two incomes before. So I think that's a big misconception that people have for younger widows.
I think one misconception is that we aren't lonely or don't need any special attention from our families. And that we haven't quit living. We're still alive, and we would like to have, go places and do things and keep right on living.
I think some of the misconceptions that I find is that everyone kind of assumes that they're over 70, and many of them are. So it's certainly an image that I think we have, but with the world and the way it is today, with disease and sickness and illness, terminal illnesses, with terrorism, with natural disasters, people can die at any time. You don't have to be over 70, like we just so often assume that you die of natural causes, but there are many young widows out there, and I don't know if the world really prepares them for it. They need to know that they're not alone. There are many of us. It's just that the world kind of just assumes that you must be older. If you're a widow, you must be older.
I think like everybody is there maybe for the first couple of months, and then after that you don't need help anymore. Well, that's when you really need the help, is when everybody leaves, and I think that everybody's in a misconception that, okay, she's fine now, that we don't need to call her, we don't need to ask her out or something, but we still need that.
Well, I think that they think that widows are all very elderly, and that they may have a lot of money left to them, that they don't have to work anymore, and those kind of things that we cry all the time. And there's some truth to that. There are tears, but it's more like an ebb and flow. For me, it was more like triggers in a memory, a song, just certain things that would bring up memories that would create tears at times. Financially, I didn't realize that you can't receive your husband's Social Security until you reach 62. You can receive partial benefits. For me, being a nurse, I'm able to work, and that's, I was blessed by having an occupation. There are widows who were dependent upon their spouses, and in their 50s, as I was early 50s. They have to get out into the workforce or they cannot survive. So I think there's misconceptions about the economics of women who are widowed.
In my opinion, the main misconception that they have is that, okay, they feel that, okay, this person passed away, now let's just move on. Like you're supposed to just dust yourself off, pick yourself up, like it was nothing, but you have memories, you have years, and you just can't say, okay, well, that was yesterday, and today is today. And I know you have to move on, but it takes time, because grieving is a process, and some people, they don't realize it unless it happened to them. So if it didn't happen to you, they don't know how to really handle it.
We live in a couple's world, I learned. And before I was widowed, I didn't understand. And now I'm in that position, and you just look at things so differently. And I know sometimes I will think now, they just don't get it. And my daughter will say that, Mom, they just don't get it. And that's really true, because I think until you walk that walk, until you walk in those shoes, no matter what it is in life, on your journey, you don't get it until you walk that walk.
I think many people, and before I became a widow, feel that widows will do just fine. And I think that's probably the biggest misconception. They don't understand the unique loneliness of the path that we walk.